Today on MHK All Day, we go behind the scenes to take a look at the work it takes to make Homecoming Week come to life. And later, we go inside Holden Hall to get a glance at the student employees behind the Student Life desk. This and more coming up. Welcome to MHK All Day. I'm Colby Miller. We have a lot in store for you on today's show, but first, K-State came together for the second KS Unite. Last year, this event took place after racial tensions arose on the K-State campus. As for this year's events, K-State believes a second KS Unite will help push the university towards a more inclusive campus. Reporter Jared Sleppy has more.
KS Unite is an annual event held by Kansas State University to unify the campus with diversity and inclusion of thoughts and ideas. The event held multiple seminars and meetings, with the main program hosting speakers who are current and former K-State students that had compelling stories to share how the university has impacted them. All of the seminars led to a walk that was held inside the K-State Union due to the rainy weather this past Tuesday. The event attracted students and residents in the Manhattan community as the university canceled classes for the event. For those who weren't able to get seats inside the main ballroom, there was seating throughout the rest of the Union where the event was being live streamed. Some of the students took this event as an opportunity to share their political beliefs. Although this wasn't a political event in itself, these students took advantage of their First Amendment right.
Part of the League of United Latin American Citizens, and we're here to speak on behalf of our fellow classmates and members and friends who are undocumented. So that's what we're here to support.
K-State prides in being one of the most inclusive colleges in the country. Its philosophy and importance of the K-State family is known throughout the community and the country. So why hold the event, and why is it so important?
I think just making sure everyone just feels included. I know that we always say we're a family, but there's students still that don't feel that way, and I think just by making sure we actually open our arms and make sure everybody feels included would be a really great start. I think there's definitely been some progress made, but like I said, there's still more that can be done.
KS Unite, in its beginnings, was just an attempt to settle any racial tensions in the Manhattan community after an incident where a Manhattan resident marked racial slurs all over his vehicle, claiming it to be a Halloween prank. The incident didn't involve the university in any way, but for whatever reason, the man claimed to be a student when he wasn't. However, what was at first just a PR fix for the university has turned into something greater.
It shows that Kansas State really cares about the students' different perspectives and lifestyles, and that they want to be unified in whatever it takes, like counseling classes or whatever that they have to do. To me, it feels that K-State actually cares about my different identities and how I make K-State special.
Although K-State is one of the best in the country when it comes to diversity and inclusion, they still feel like they have a long ways to go when it comes to that regard.
So with all the talks of K-State needing to get better, Bernard Franklin, former K-State student and vice president of student life at Mount St. Mary's University, offers some solutions on how the Wildcat Nation can improve in terms of diversity and inclusion.
There's still practices and procedures. Higher ed's one of the last institutions to really change. Corporations are changing, nonprofits are changing. Higher ed still operates much like it did 200 years ago. We have to change those models. One, is the calendar year the best for all students? Or should we look at another season? See, we started higher ed because of farmers needing to go back to the farm in the summer. Our kids don't go back to a farm today. So how do we create more accessible college calendar for people who need to work, but they don't need to work in the summer, they need to work year-round?
Franklin was the first director and founder of the Kauffman Foundation Project Discovery Program. In addition, he is the director of the Edgerly Franklin Scholars Program and champion for underrepresented people, raising millions of private funding for diversity, inclusion, and equity. Franklin likes the direction the university is heading, but says the university is far from perfect.
But there's still so much more work to be done. That's the issue. We've been a leader long before it's popular. what I wanted to say, and just time didn't keep it, our first graduate was 1899, first African American. Many colleges don't have a first African American graduate until the mid-1990s. So we've been doing this work, but it doesn't mean we don't have more to do. We do have more to do.
Asking for perfection is no small task, but Franklin says it's accomplishable if we bear down and unite as a community in the name of inclusion. When asked what a fully united community looks like, here's what he had to say.
Well, it's a campus where everything's integrated, where we move in and out of departments and programs, where students have the freedom to learn about culture. We're still pretty siloed and restricted, but how do we create an environment that's more free, more loose, more available to students, and especially for students so that they don't come here and spend 5-6 years.
From Manhattan, I'm Jared Sluppy, MHK All Day.
Today's weather may be altering a final homecoming week event. Coming up, we go live to Aggieville for a homecoming parade preview. Stay tuned.
Knowledge is more than a piece of paper. It's being committed to leaving the world a better place, dedicated to limitless learning, conducting research that is tried and true, and then tried again, crossing disciplines, blazing trails, discovering better methods that lead to global solutions. What is the K-State graduate student experience? Unrestricted, proven, you. The heart-pounding roar, a sea of purple, wielding twists and turns, a sincere smile, a simple phrase. Legacies that span generations, blurring the line between fans and family. Believing we bleed a different color. Foundations defined by a single stone. That special place you love full well. What makes traditions unforgettable? Loyalty. Purple. You. The K-State fabric is woven with a commitment to service, a common thread of experience and expertise, research that makes ambition a reality, student opportunities that foster empowered leaders, an environment that embraces creative collaboration. We look for moments to define ourselves as trailblazers and as advocates for advancement. Why does K-State believe it can achieve a stronger tomorrow? Promise, possibility, you. Outreach is more than a goal. It's our land-grant mission. We feed and sustain an expanding population and cultivate strong, stable families, growing responsibility and leadership in our youth through a far-reaching network of research, resources, and educators. Whether you're in Kansas or across the globe, every life is worthy of an extended hand. What makes K-State Research and Extension so powerful? Purpose, outreach, you.
Homecoming week is coming to a close, but the planning behind it took months in advance. MHK All Day reporter Isabel Lobby has more.
This week has been filled with several events for student organizations to participate in Homecoming Week. From Pant the Chant, WRL, Paint the Ville, the 5K Run, the Children's Carnival, the Parade, and much more. Homecoming Week is planned by the Alumni Association and students to help celebrate both past and current K-State students. Each homecoming event is scored by judges who are K-State faculty members from various departments. These judges are selected by the homecoming committee. The organization with the highest scores from each event will be claimed the winner of homecoming. The winners will be announced at the pep rally tonight in Manhattan City Park. Planning all of these events requires a lot of time and effort. The homecoming committee has over 40 students who have been working since the spring to plan this week. Sophomore on the homecoming committee, Deja Coker, is on the subcommittee that is in charge of planning Pant the Chant and WRL. These events both require performances from homecoming pairs. Both events are held in Bramlage Coliseum. Coker described her role in planning these events to make sure the competition is fair.
So we had to find a playlist for in between acts, and then we made the order. We picked the order of the way we did the order was the birthday of the artist, so it wasn't anything where someone could say that it was unfair or anything like that. We just had to make the seating chart, make sure no one was where they were last year, make sure the bigger parties were in bigger sections, things like that. And just a lot of behind-the-scenes things to make sure everything ran smoothly. And
This is Coker's first year on the homecoming committee. While it's been a lot of work, she said she has enjoyed her experience.
it's been a lot of fun, a lot more. I didn't think I was going to be as involved as I was, but I enjoy how much I am involved. And it's just fun to see all the hard work we've been doing all last year and the beginning of this year and see how everything's turning out.
This year, homecoming presented some challenges due to severe rain and flash flooding that occurred earlier in the week. Senior Ashlyn Reese, the WRL and Pant the Chant committee chair, said the weather has impacted some students' involvement in homecoming this year.
The rains affected us in multiple ways. I know a lot of people don't really want to go out and participate in events when the weather is the way it is. And we've had to move Paint the Ville twice now, just because flooding and being able to be undercover while they're also painting, those don't really mix that well. But we've adapted very well.
However, Reese hopes to maintain the spirit of homecoming despite the weather.
I think it's just very important to remember when going throughout homecoming week, even though it's not sunny and don't really expect it to be like this, to really realize why we're here. It's for the alumni to come back and really celebrate why we came to K-State and why we're here.
This is Reese's second year working on the homecoming committee. Reese returned this year because she enjoyed her time and she wanted to give back to the university.
I think my favorite part is seeing the holistic view of it and not just really focusing on one dance or one chant or one snapshot of it. I get to see from every angle. I get to sit on the floor at each of the Pant the Chant, WRL, and really get to see the entire Greek organization or student organizations and how they participate in it.
For several members of the K-State community, homecoming is a way to express pride in student organizations and the K-State family as a whole.
I think just how much pride everyone has in K-State, not just students, but faculty, alum, and just the Manhattan community. Everyone just comes together for this big week, and it's really awesome to see the parade, the game, the WRL Pant the Chant. There's alum that come to watch those types of things, and that's not every school you would see that. So it's just cool to see everyone, how excited they are.
For MHK All Day, I'm Isabel Lobby.
Now we get to go live to Isabel Lobby in Aggieville to look at how weather is going to affect the parade.
I'm here in Aggieville, which marks the center of the homecoming parade route. Now, if you've been outside at all this morning, you've probably noticed it's a little bit rainy. However, the forecast says that it should clear up by this evening. And the homecoming parade is scheduled to start at 5 p.m. today. Hopefully there will be no rain delays. I spoke with the homecoming committee and they do not want to cancel this parade at all due to rain. So hopefully we will still have the parade tonight, this evening, if it does not continue to rain.
Isabel, what should students bring to Aggieville for the parade?
Yes, Colby, it is a little bit chilly out today. It's mid-40s, a little bit colder than what we've been experiencing this year so far. So if I were you, I would bring a sweater, maybe a coat, and even some rain boots because it'll probably still be a little bit rainy out. Whether it's not raining or not, the ground might still be wet. So bring some shoes that are okay with getting wet.
Isabel, thanks for the info. We'll be right back.
Outreach is more than a goal. It's our land-grant mission. We feed and sustain an expanding population and cultivate strong, stable families, growing responsibility and leadership in our youth through a far-reaching network of research, resources, and educators. Whether you're in Kansas or across the globe, every life is worthy of an extended hand. What makes K-State Research and Extension so powerful? Purpose, outreach, you. We are groundbreaking educators, laser-focused on inspiring students and sparking solutions. We are dedicated professionals, keeping campus safe, accessible, and inviting. We have big responsibilities, entrusted with serving our community and world. We are Kansas State University faculty and staff, and we have many titles, but one vision: always put family first. What turns profession into passion? Selflessness, integrity, you. Open doors, warm hellos, classes spark ideas, traditions create memories, labs lead to partners, late nights, crazy nights. Hail, hail, hail? Studying hard, hardly studying. One last Manhattan sunset, caps and gowns, pomp and circumstance. We're on this journey together, remembering that every open door can lead to a warm hello. What is the K-State experience? Family, pride, you. The limestone embedded in our history is the foundation of who we have become and what we can become tomorrow. We find inspiration in the past, new possibilities in our present, and anticipation for tomorrow's journey. Yesterday's triumphs are today's proud traditions, a transformation where a hall becomes a home, students become family, and research becomes reality. How do we build upon K-State's strong foundation? Innovation, collaboration, you.
Welcome back to MHK All Day. The Office of Student Life addresses a variety of student concerns, but who are the students behind the desk at Student Life? MHK All Day reporter Zach Perez gives us a closer look at their operations.
As you walk through the doors of Holton Hall, round the corner to either staircase, and climb the stairs to the second story, you will see a large mural. On it, words of encouragement and positive messages give students a welcoming feeling as they move to the upper-level offices. Right across the hall from that mural is the Office of Student Life. Once inside, the first thing every student, faculty member, and parent sees is the smiling faces of the student workers who man the front desk.
My name is Courtney Davis.
My name is Monica Wolf.
My name is Mariah Kinderconnect, and I just work as kind of a front desk person, answering phone calls, emails, scheduling appointments, stuff like that.
These student workers are 3 seniors working in the Office of Student Life. While from an outside perspective, the job they do may seem like simple office tasks, the work they do carries an importance that few students are aware of.
A lot of times you have to talk to students to figure out kind of on a deeper level what's going on in their lives, so just like being a good listener for them and figuring out like what the next steps need to be in order to help them is a big thing.
We're like the first point of contact for students, so we do a lot of their absence verifications whenever a student has a family emergency or they're ill, if they're going through some things that have been affecting their mental health. We just get that information, basic information from them and schedule an appointment.
So we are the first people to hear about what they're going through, and then we point them in the right direction of where they need to go to receive help.
Student workers are charged with a variety of tasks in the Office of Student Life. Tasks that can range from simply verifying an absence for a student who has missed a chemistry class to helping a student meet with a dean after experiencing the loss of a family member.
So a lot of challenges that we have are certain students have some really big issues when they come in. So kind of overcoming your personal fears of whatever those are to try and help out the student is probably the biggest thing you have to overcome.
While handling such a variety of situations can be difficult at times, the student workers of Student Life feel that it has given them valuable experience that will help them move on to their future careers.
We deal a lot with crisis situations, and my major is secondary education, so I feel like a lot of the things that have happened in the office are really preparing me for the crisis situations that I'm going to have in my classroom, and how to talk to parents. We get a lot of parent phone calls, so.
Along with gaining experience in dealing with difficult situations, student workers are able to build relationships and interact with students they otherwise never would.
I think the most rewarding thing has just been getting to actually interact with students like on campus and just help them, because people are dealing with like so many different things. So I just like getting to work with them and help them and just see like the difference that our office can make for them and to help them be successful.
A former student worker, Reagan Tank, who worked in the Office of Student Life, told us how her time in the office has benefited her after her undergraduate years.
I attribute a lot of what I learned working here to just like my success being able to handle crazy situations outside of work and in the job that I have now.
For all student workers in the office, one of the most rewarding aspects of their job is the relationships that they are able to build in the time working at Student Life.
I feel like I've made a lot of connections with other faculty members as well on campus. I've also gotten to know the deans really, really well, and they're genuinely nice people who love to help students.
Laurel Moody, an Associate Dean of Student Life, talked with us about the impact that her student workers have had on her during her time at Student Life.
Our office would not function every day without our student staff. They're the people who greet students when they walk in, they answer our phone calls, they're really on the front lines of any major things that are happening, and they're an essential function for day-to-day activities that happen here. So they help me every day, they keep me on task, they notify me when my students are here. They may talk to a student ahead of time and have some different information and perspective they can share with me. And they're just a really fun, important part of the office morale here as well.
Dean Moody went on to explain the level of immense confidence that she has in the student workers of Student Life.
A lot of student positions on campus are different than the students in our office, and I feel like many times people do undervalue, or even students undervalue what our employees do here. So I hear the phrase a lot, well, I'm just a student worker, or, oh, I only talk to your student worker. And we really discourage that, because our student staff are a critical part of how we operate. They're competent, we've trained them to know what they're doing and have confidence in who they're talking to. And they're just as capable of assisting students, faculty, and staff in a lot of positions as anyone else in our office.
Whether it's the work they do for other students or the work they do for the deans at Student Life, it's clear to see that student workers are an important part of the office and of the K-State family. From Holton Hall, I'm Zach Perez with MHK All Day.
If you would like to contact Student Life, you can reach them at the number below or visit them in their office on the second floor of Holton Hall, room 201. Food insecurity in Kansas is not to be taken lightly. Up next, find out what a group of student volunteers are doing to help fight against it.
I know a spot that I love full well.
'Tis not in forest, nor yet in dell. Ever it holds me with magic spell.
I think of thee, alma mater.
Carry thy banner high. Long, long, may thy colors fly.
Loyal to thee, thy children will swell the cry. Hail, 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 alma mater.
Knowledge is more than a piece of paper. It's being committed to leaving the world a better place, dedicated to limitless learning, conducting research that is tried and true, and then tried again, crossing disciplines, blazing trails, discovering better methods that lead to global solutions. What is the K-State graduate student experience? Unrestricted, proven, you.
Hi, I'm Tunde from Lagos, Nigeria.
And I'm Ronnie from Spring Hill, Kansas.
During festivals, I wear my kaftan.
On K-State game days, I wear purple and a foam finger.
I've never been to an American football game.
I've never been out of this country. You want to go tailgating this weekend?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Would you happen to have a purple kaftan?
Only for game days.
Most people throw their food right into the garbage when they are done eating, but a group of K-State students are doing something a little different with their food that is making a big impact. Reporter Dallas Coronado has the story.
Every day, hundreds of pounds of food is prepared and served to the student athletes at Kansas State University, and at the end of each day there are leftovers. K-State's Food Recovery Network makes sure those leftovers don't go to waste.
We recover from the performance table, which is where all of the athletes eat. So we are actually recovering Sunday through Thursday this year, which is really exciting. It's the first time that we've recovered 5 days a week. And we recover from them. Right now we're taking the food from like the metal pans, putting them in disposable pans, and then driving over to various churches in Manhattan. There's a network called Common Table that's composed of about half a dozen churches that all do community meals almost every night of the week.
After the food is brought to the church, it is to be weighed and stored until a community meal night takes place.
Now our number is about 17,200 pounds of food that's been saved from the trash. And it's super delicious, yummy, nutritious food meant for athletes to make them strong and champions. So we're excited that we're able to share that food with the community as well.
The Food Recovery Network is made up of student volunteers, all with the same goal in mind: to fight against food waste.
I really like the idea of donating food to other places. Since where I worked, we threw all our food away at the end of the night, so I really like the idea of seeing the food go somewhere else that'll be used again instead of just thrown away.
What started as a movement at the University of Maryland in 2011, the Food Recovery Network has grown to 230 chapters at campuses all across the country. The idea sparked the interest of senior Christine Rock, who became one of the founding members of the K-State chapter.
Food Recovery Network at K-State started kind of just as it was in a leadership studies class actually that the Food Recovery Network was shared with us. I had no idea what it was until a teacher presented it in class and said this was something that was happening at other college campuses. It's not something that's happening at K-State. If this is interesting to you, take it and run with it, do what you will. And so several interested students, myself included, decided we wanted to make this happen.
Nearly 3 years later, the K-State chapter is still going strong and fighting food waste every day.
We live in one of the most food insecure counties in Kansas, and I think, not that food recovery is going to solve food insecurity, because it's not, but just to try and sort of build the best Band-Aid that we can with food that would otherwise be going in the trash is what we're aiming to do.
In 2016, the Kansas Health Institute reported 1 in 5 children living in food insecure households, Riley County having the highest rate.
It's a battle that is not ever won. It has to be continually fought every day. And so sometimes it can be like, oh, it's 8:30, it's cold, it's raining, I don't want to go, I want to just sit on the couch. But then at the same time, if I do, then the food will go in the trash and people won't have salmon for dinner like they would have if I would have been here. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the people that I know, that I've been able to meet through the performance table, and the wonderful people at all of the churches. It's really a joy. Even getting out over that original hump, I'm always so glad I'm here and so glad I'm doing this.
In Manhattan, I'm Dallas Coronado with MHK All Day.
To learn more about the Food Recovery Network, visit www.foodrecoverynetwork.org. That's all the time we have this week for MHK All Day today. I'm Colby Miller. We'll see you next week.
This is MHK All Day.